Section C, Assay Type 3. Bellatron Industries is a manufacturing company located in Europe that has just completed the first month of new fiscal year. The finance department is reviewing the variances of actual results to the master budget. Okay. The expenditures within the marketing and facilities department make up the majority of the fixed cost. Okay. The sales operations department is responsible for revenue, and it should be. The actual results and master budgets are shown below. As you can see, the original master budget was planned for a standard quantity of 16,000 SQ, SP, whereas the actual results AQ is 18, AQ, AP. Comparing these two will give us static budget variance, which is of very limited significance. Then what? So there is a difference, as you can see. Let's see what the questions require us to do. First question say, prepare a flexible budget based on the actual sales volume. Flexible budget. How do you do that? Let's draw up a flexible budget out of the master budget that is given. It's just that the master budget is revised upward or downward depending upon the actual output. The static budget was 16,000. Your actual output was 18. You have to flex it up. Revise the budget upwards by 2,000 units. It could be other way around also. Your master budget or static budget was 16. Actual output and sale was let's say 12. Then you had to revise your budget downwards. 16 to 12, the whole of the budget. So let us revise this budget. It's not difficult. Let me show you how we do that. So we are going to draw up the flex budget. And how do we do that? I told you flex budget takes in the actual quantity from the actual results, and it takes in the standard price from this. Standard price for revenue, standard price for variable cost, for materials, labor, and all that. Right? So let us first calculate what was the standard selling price. Based upon the standard selling price, we can flex our revenue. How do we do that? Divide every number by 16,000. Not every, the fixed cost cannot be flexed this way. Divide revenue by 16,000. Divide your direct material, your direct labor, your variable overhead. These all items must be divided by 16 so as to give you the standard selling price, standard material price, standard labor price, and standard price for variable overhead. Every item will be given standard because we need the standard price, because flex budget is created out of actual quantity, which is 18, multiplied by the standard price for your revenue, for your material, labor, and all. Let us calculate this. 1360 divided by 16,000 units, it means our standard selling price was 85. 672,000 material was to be spent on 16,000 units. It means our standard material price was 42. 240,000 was for direct labor. 240,000 divided by 16,000 units. It means our standard price for labor was 15. 128 divided by 16,000. It gives me $8. And please remember, fixed cost should not be flexed. What you can do at the maximum, you can divide your fixed cost on number of months. Please do not divide your fixed cost on number of units. Fixed cost cannot be flexed this way. It can be split on monthly basis, but it cannot be flexed upward or downward based upon the level of activity attained. So we have got the standard prices. All we have to do, we multiply these actual quantity of 18 with all these numbers. That will give you flex budget. So let's do it. Standard selling price was 85. Actual units sold was 18,000. So your revenue flexed is 1,530,000. 18,000 units produced, each costing $42 for material, $756,000. Right? $15 for labor. 15 multiplied by 18,000, it's 270. For variable overheads, 8 multiplied by 18,000, it's 144. Right? So 1530 less 756 less 270 less 144 gives you a revised budgeted contribution margin of 360. Fixed costs cannot be flexed. It has to be reported as it is, 215. So 215 and deduct 360 less 215, that gives us the flexible operating income, flexible budget operating income, that is 145. That was what you're required to do in your first question, and let's see what he has done. 145, right? So you flex this way. If you ask me, should we expect flexible budget questions on your asset type? I would say no. Because the question that requires this formatting and tabulations and columns, the history tells us that he doesn't test you on question like these. But nonetheless, it is doable. You have done it on your scrap paper. All you do is just write units sold, press tab twice or thrice, you write 18. Revenue, press thrice, and then you just align your data this way. Give your final results. If you want to give your computation, write the brackets and just give it in as simple form as possible. So the probability of having such question on exam is very limited, but if it does, you know how to do it. So we have prepared a flexible budget. Simply we flexed the given static budget, revise all the numbers based upon the actual output achieved. The next question, number 2, says calculate the flexible budget variance by comparing the actual results to the flexible budget. That's exactly what we have been doing. When you compare your actual results with the flex budget, what you get is called the flexible budget variance. When you compare your actual results versus master or static budget, you get the static budget variance. And when you compare your master budget with your flex budget, you get sales volume variance if you're seeing from the revenue side, or the production volume variance from the production side. So we need to calculate the flexible budget variance. This is the budget, this is the actual result. So we were expecting a revenue of 1.53 million. Instead, we got little lower revenue, and the difference between these two clearly shows it's an adverse variance, 18,000 adverse. Red would mean it's adverse or unfavorable, right? Next, we were expecting our direct material consumption in production and sales to be 756. We spent more, 36,000 adverse. Our direct labor should have been 270. We spent less, 252. The difference between 270 and 252, 18,000. This is favorable, right? Then your variable overhead should have been 144 as per the flex budget. Actually, it was 144, right? Then we were expecting a contribution margin of 360. Instead, we got a contribution margin of 324. It's adverse. By what? 36,000 adverse. Our fixed cost should have been 215 as per the flex budget. It was 210, 5,000 favorable. And finally, if you net off these, result should verify negative 31, or you can just compare these two. You get the same number from both sides. It's 31,000 unfavorable. This is all the detail about variances. The last column you needed to drop. So what you will do, you have already calculated the flex budget. You will copy the text from here and simply paste it here, right? Actual results versus flexible, and the last column you show your variances, right? So these were the numbers used. 85 was the standard price for revenue, for material, for labor, and fixed cost. As you could see, it was 5,000 lower than the expectation. So this is how you flex your budgets. Flexing is done by taking the actual quantity and multiplying the actual quantity with all the standard prices as per the original static budget. Done. Next, it says identify and describe 3 benefits and 1 limitation of measuring performance by comparing actual results to the master budget. We have seen that master budget is the budget prepared for a single level of activity. Master budget is also called the static budget or annual profit plan. So identify and describe 3 benefits and 1 limitation of measuring performance by comparing actual results to the master budget. First advantage could be that it promotes coordination and communication. The original budget plan was planned according to the input given by all departments concerned: production, procurement, sales, finance, HR. This was what management originally thought. Static budget was prepared by the management. It was the original plan. This is what we thought we would do. It would result in coordination, communication. Actual production sale could be more, could be less, but that is the original planning tool. Static budget is the original planning tool that we draw up as a guiding line, guiding principles for the relevant departments to follow. But using master budget as a performance evaluation, this is little questionable. We have seen that using static budget for performance evaluation could misfire, because what if the production is more than the plan? What if the production is less than the plan? We have to convert our master static budget into flex budget to make it more useful for performance evaluation, because static budget versus the actual result have limited application, limited utility in performance evaluation. It only helps you to calculate the static budget variance, right? Setting high targets, challenging targets in your static budget. Like in this case, we had 16,000. We could have set it 20,000. This high target might have been viewed by some employees as unrealistic, but for some it would have been a motivating target. They would have put more effort on it, right? So this is possible that some employees take it seriously. So motivate managers and employees to achieve the target. But drawing up static original budget in a coordinated effort by taking in all the managers in the loop, it's time consuming. Static budget was original plan, the output could be more, output could be less. So we may have to revise our static budget, keeping in mind the changing circumstances. It requires adaptability, or it requires the drawing up of flexible budget. And that's the budget that is very valuable and helpful for us for performance evaluation, right? So you can discuss 3 benefits, 3 advantages, and 1 drawback is time consuming. It requires adaptability or flexing, because production could be more or less than the original static budget. So this revision is time consuming and it may result in loss management efforts. Next question. Identify and describe 3 different types of responsibility centers. Identify the responsibility centers in this scenario. There are 4 types of responsibility centers. Cost centers are responsible for costs. Revenue centers that are responsible for revenues. Profit centers, the manager of this department or segment are responsible for revenues and costs both. And investment center, the most complex center, the manager of this center are responsible for cost, revenues, and investments. Right? These are the 4 types. It said identify the responsibility centers in the scenario. Let us go back to the scenario. The finance department is reviewing the variances of actual results to the master budget. The expenditures within the marketing and facilities department make up the majority of fixed cost. The sales operation department is responsible for revenues. The actual results and master budgets are shown. So we have only sales and marketing department. So the type of responsibility centers in the example that we have just seen is marketing and facilities. So simply this one is the cost centers and these are the revenue centers. We don't see any profit centers, just cost and revenue centers. So you can go straight to the questions and you can give your response. Responsibility centers in the given example, they are sales and the facilities. So it's simply the cost centers and a revenue center. We don't see any profit center. We don't see any investment center, right? Then explain the difference between sales volume variance for reporting income and the sales price variance. Sales volume variance and sales price variance. We can explain it with the help of formula. Sales volume variance is equal to the actual quantity we sold versus the original standard quantity we thought we will sell multiplied by the budgeted unit contribution margin. This is called the sales volume variance. And sales price variance, SPV, it is simply difference between the actual price we got by selling our goods or services versus what was the original standard price multiplied by the actual quantity sold. So as you can see, the volume variance is the difference between what we thought we will sell versus what we actually sold. The volume variance, the quantity variance for a single product company. Whereas the price variance is the difference between what we thought we will sell our good at versus what we actually got. So it's simply the difference between the overall quantity of the goods or services sold versus the difference in prices. So that's the difference between them. You can explain, if you know the formula, you can explain using the formulas alone. Sale volume variance, difference between flexible budget, and you can give it this way. Sale volume is the difference between the flexible budget units and the static budget units, that is the standard quantity versus actual quantity. And the price variance is the difference between actual price and the budgeted price. multiplied by the actual quantity. Actually, you can see they are just simply the formulas written in text. Just see this. Let me write down the formula so you can correlate them. Rewrite the formula. Look at the first one. I just wrote sales volume variance is the actual quantity minus standard quantity multiplied with the budgeted unit contribution margin. And here the sales price variance is the actual price minus standard price multiplied by the actual quantity sold. See, so the volume variance is the difference between the flexible budget units, actual quantity, because flexible budget contains AQ into SP. Actual results contain AQ into AP. Right? So AQ, it is AQ. In flexible budget we have AQ, in the actual result we have AQ. So basically it's flexible budget unit, that is AQ, and the static budget unit, that is SQ, the original plan, multiplied by the budgeted unit contribution margin. And the sales price variance is the difference between actual price, yes, budgeted price, which you call standard price, multiplied with the actual quantity of input. And that's all. So if you know your theory, you know your formulas, concepts, giving proper response on essay type shouldn't be in any issue at all. That was the last question.